All right, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about overcoming the objection of, I need to wait. I need to think about it. I'll call you tomorrow. Okay? This is something that happens, all right? It happens and it's a logical response to an interaction where you just met somebody 30, 40 minutes ago. All right? So once again, we always want to come across from acknowledging their response and then redirecting where we want them to go. All right, I'm saying this often. Hopefully I say it in most videos. You as a sales agent need to position yourself as the expert in the conversation. To be the expert, you have to be the expert. You've got to train, you've got to know what you're doing. You position yourself as the expert because there's always going to be an expert, and allow them to be the consumer where you're guiding to the solution, okay, when we're problem solving. All right, so the client, you've gone through the presentation. They didn't have any coverage, okay, and they're looking to get some, but they say, I need to think about it, right? I'll call you back. I need to wait. So my personal response, what I recommend is this: acknowledge it. Of course you need to think about it. We just met, all right? I completely understand. However, when I'm gone, I'm going to be busy. You're going to be busy. In fact, life insurance and death is not really something most people want to think about over and over again. So one of the beautiful things about what we do is we're able to have this conversation today. Guarantee your approval, guarantee your policy will be issued, and this is something you don't have to deal with again, okay? So there's never, and there's not anybody more knowledgeable than myself or whoever you are in front of your client. So if you have any questions, I would really like to just go ahead and answer them, maybe show you some more documentation, go into any kind of details, because something is got you concerned about maybe what we're looking at. Is it the price that you were considering? Is that too heavy on your budget? Because one thing to be aware of is something is better than nothing. So I know, Mr. Jones, that you selected the gold package. However, the silver and bronze package are still going to be enough to get you buried. And we can always look to increase your coverage in the future after maybe you pay off some other bills or so forth. But we do want to get something started because you currently don't have anything in place, and your beneficiary, your son, your daughter, your grandkids, they are at risk of having to front this bill and maybe having to go beg and ask for donations to bury their loved one. So I like to say, all right, when somebody needs to wait, I want to figure out why. Because there's a famous quote, and I use it often, by C.S. Lewis. It talks about Christianity, but I'm talking about life insurance, but they're relative. This one says, Christianity, if true, can be, or if false, is of no importance. If true is of utmost importance, the only thing it cannot be is moderately important. In life insurance, if people value it and they do not want to leave a burden behind, it cannot be, I'll get to it when I get to it. It has to be an emotional decision based off of, this is important, I value it, and I really want to protect my loved ones. All right? So that being said, if I need to wait, we didn't do a great job providing value, or maybe they just are that person that says, I do not make decisions on the spot, I will call you back. All right, so let's say I've pushed back and I've pushed back, and this person is just not going to make a decision today. That's okay. What I'm going to do, I'm going to program my number in their phone, their number in my phone. I'm going to call their number to make sure it works. I'm going to save my name, Josh Cooper, the insurance guy. Then I'm going to select a specific time the next day or 2 days later that I'm going to call them, and I'm going to tell them, Mr. Jones, I'm going to call you on Tuesday at 3:30. Does that work for you? 3:30 or 2:30, right? And they select 3:30. Mr. Jones, on 3:30 on Tuesday, I'm going to call you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to call you 3 times, okay? I'm going to triple dial you. My number's in your phone. We know it works. And, just out of respect, and if you are not interested, then just answer the phone and tell me, Josh, I have no interest in getting life insurance. Thanks for your time. You're not going to hurt my feelings. However, Mr. Jones, if this is truly something important to you, like you've stated over and over and over again as we've been talking, then whenever we talk Tuesday, let's get everything taken care of for you, okay? And all you'll need is your routing and account number and what day you want it to start. And any other questions you have, I can answer at that time. Does that work for you? And the reason that I set a specific time, I'm busy. I don't want to just have to go by his house 10 times, call him 20 different times. If I call him 3 times, on our set time and he doesn't answer, I am going to elect him as a lost lead, as a no, right? I'm going to move on. And he has my number. If he changes his mind, he can always reach out to me and I'll answer the phone. But I cannot spend time and time again after somebody who's just not serious about it. So when somebody says, I need to wait, we want to figure out why. If there's somebody they need to talk to, let's get that person on the phone now. If it's a sibling, a family member, if they can't afford it till next month, no problem. All right. But always try to build the value to such a high intensity that they are asking you, why are we waiting? Let's get this taken care of. And you'll see that your objections have been hit and you're dealing with less objections. You're able to close more sales.